Oh, we're missing our fearless host here. Hopefully he arrives soon.
What the heck's going on?
Something's happening.
What is this?
What in the world?
Who says you can't have fun at your job? Thank you to Hockey Mike Kosaki for giving me the grand intro. There we go. Welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 53, powered by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power, boys. There we go. There's Hockey Mike Kosaki parking the beautiful Zamboni here in parts unknown on beautiful Long Island, New York. You can kind of connect all the dots here where I actually am. We're gonna have a great show with us today, boys. Thank you very much. We are ready for some playoff hockey here, boys. Joining us on the lower part of the screen, as always, the first ever PWB champion, the living legend on the county. John, how are things today?
Good. Having a good day. Apparently you are as well. Glad to be along for the ride.
Yeah, that was a fun ride. John Smith, we watched Raw last night. Can't wait to talk to you about that. We had some fun jokes galore.
Yeah, man, that was good times. I'm just I'm not used to being on bottom, so this is a weird situation for me right now.
There you go. Well, when you're the top party, you'll see later on. He's last year's WWE Pick'em champion. From MinutesToBellTime.com, Ryan Joy, you're going to spend the entire show with us, pal. We got a lot of picks. We're going to talk blood and guts, and screw it. We'll just keep you on.
I had an energy drink right before the show. Let's go. Let's do it.
Right. Gary Mehaffy, unfortunately, cannot be with us today. He is a little bit under the weather overseas in Belfast. Watch that part.
Damn it, Gary. Gary's just butthurt over the Devlin sucks GIF or JPEG that I included in our group email last week.
And the other thing is, producer Joe McMahon, he likes to set up here. Joe, thank you for tuning in. Love it when you watch live, pal. Hope we do you proud. On today's episode, we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. We have Kenny Williams. He had a big win over his former tag team partner. He gets to say, maybe we can come up with some philosophies and theories of where Amir Jordan's going to go. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, which as always, you will see the statistics and the graphics presented by MinutesToBellTime.com and Ryan Joy up in the top corner right there. And these picks are always sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, she'll like it too. Okay. Oh, James Wheeler's coming in hot. James, we'll get to you. We see you, pal. We'll bring it in when it's ready. We're gonna main event the show with making our picks for a huge weekend in wrestling. We have Saturday night. We have Impact with Under Siege. Sunday we have WrestleMania Backlash. We're gonna make all of our picks and wild, wacky predictions on that. But we're gonna curtain shirt the show with the point valued show from last Wednesday night. Into blood and guts. So we'll just get into it, Ryan. Somebody, I won't mention any names, completely nailed the hammer on the head here. Called the coming a mile away. But Ryan Joy, I know they're getting a little bit of slack here with the finish, but just the match was great. It was a lot of fun. What are your things here as a senior AEW correspondent?
I really did like it. I agree with you. Unfortunately, AEW's had a couple of really bad finishes lately, but in general, when I put it out to everybody on Facebook and everybody, they all agreed. They said great match, weak finish, but which is hard to say when you have somebody getting thrown off a cage. But it's still very good. I liked the format and everything. It built well and ultimately ended up on top of the cage. And MJF threatened to throw Jericho off, and when he did that, Sammy Guevara said, "Okay, we surrender." And that's how you get the Inner Circle to surrender. And then MJF threw him off the cage.
You throw him anyway. A Ric Flair War Games impersonation for John's brother Chris right there. So apparently it was announced right before we went on air, they're going to be having their celebration. Pinnacle's going to be having their celebration tomorrow night on Dynamite. Excuse me, starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be their coronation, the Pinnacle coronation, which to me just says somebody from Inner Circle is going to come out and we're going to set up the next angle, right? Like this is we knew going into War Games or Blood and Guts that this was the starting point, not the end point. So we're going to see what comes next. Maybe it'll be Wardlow Hager too.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, especially with Double or Nothing pretty much right around the corner. I think we're only about 2 weeks away, somewhere in that area. Speaking of which, Cody Rhodes, he's got big plans. I guess he's going to announce his plans for Double or Nothing. So he actually had a match.
It's retirement.
I'm sorry, what was that, John?
I said hopefully it's retirement.
He had a match with QT Marshall. He got the win, but then he got punched again by Anthony Ogogo. So I'm assuming that these plans maybe have something to do with Anthony. That's a couple times now where he's gotten a couple punches in on either Cody or a member of the Nightmare family. Now, my big question here is when we finally see Anthony, I know he's been in the ring once, but it's going to be a big pay-per-view. If he's going to have dancers with him, can we call them the Go-Go Girls?
I think
Go-Go dancers? Go-Go dancers? Go-Go dancers.
Yeah, we have to.
It makes complete sense. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, they jumped Darby Allin. They got jumped by Darby. Darby tried to catch him while they weren't paying attention. He ended up getting his ass whooped because of it. That didn't turn out well for Darby at all. And unfortunately, boys, we're going to pick our first match here right off the bat. It is going to get a lot worse for our TNT champion, as Miro has said that he has the next shot, and it is going to be tomorrow night on Dynamite. Matt Hardy's one thing. The Dark Order is another thing. Jungle Boy is another thing. This is a completely different animal, John DeConnie, and I do not like the champion's chances here.
Game over. I'm taking Miro.
All right, John Smith. It's any chance at all here? Like, there's some kind of scenario.
Who's his best friend? Sabian or whatever?
Out.
Yeah.
He's out, like because he could come out with a cast on and hit him maybe or something. But that's the only way Miro loses. I mean, if they have Darby Allin beat Miro clean, that's just a complete burial of Miro. He's been such a slow build to him actually getting a shot at something. He needs to win this. He needs to get what he's there for. He's been there for almost a year now.
Yeah, and Ryan, I just happened to check my calendar. I know he's not in WWE anymore, but tomorrow is actually Rusev Day. He is actually getting a championship match on Rusev Day. It's funny how these things work out.
It is funny how these things work out. And I do think, I agree with all of you. I think we are going to find out what happens when the man who doesn't mind dying meets the man who doesn't mind killing him. I think Miro is going to take this match. Although, just to play off what John was saying, I don't think it's a complete burial if he loses to Darby. They're both undefeated. One of them has to get beat. So if it ends up being, the Darby comes out on top, I think we'll live.
I see. I don't know. I'm with John Smith on that one. If it was like Lance Archer or Brian Cage, yeah, that's not going to bury Miro at all. If it's this little scrawny jackass skateboarder kid that likes turtles, if he's the one that gets over on me, that's tough to come back from. So it's going to take a lot to think. I think Darby's going to shine on it. I think it's going to take. We've seen it. What Matt Hardy put Darby Allin through was completely hell, and Darby kicked out at 2 every single time. I think Miro's is going to be. It's going to be 1,000 times worse. But I guess we'll see. There was a tag team match that opened up the show. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, they defeated Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. Then they got their asses kicked post-match by the Bullet Club. So again, Moxley and Kingston, they got the win, but then they got the jumped and done. So Moxley, he's got a huge championship match. He's actually defending his IWGP United States Championship against Blue Thunder, Ryan Joy. So we're going into Ura Travis's neck of the woods here. The Forbidden Door is open. And Blue Thunder, Yuji Nagata, is coming through. And I believe the quote from Moxley was, Moxley, once that bell rings, I got no respect for anybody.
Yeah, it's Blue Justice, but
Oh, there you go.
But I expect this match to be the two guys standing in the middle of the ring and throwing forearms at each other. If they try to do anything else with Nagata, he's an older guy. I don't think you're not going to see drop kicks and Hurricane Ranas and stuff like that from Yuji Nagata. It's going to be stand in the middle of the ring. They're going to punch. They're going to kick. They're going to clothesline. And that's going to be the match. And when it's all said and done, there will also be a DDT. Moxley is going to retain.
All right. John Smith, apparently, Blue Justice. I apologize. I mean, I know exactly who Yuji Nagata is. I was trying to sound like I knew what I was talking about here.
My mistake.
Now it's good. You're allowed to correct me. Just don't correct me on my Spanish because those are supposed to be funny. John Smith.
The high joke.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Good luck. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Good luck. We've never had a non-American U.S. champion, right? Is that what I heard you say on your show this morning, Ryan?
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, there's never been a Japanese United States champion. Jay White is from New Zealand, and but
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't. I feel like if they were going to do that, they would do that in Japan. So I got Moxley mostly because of that reason.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I'm going with Moxley as well, and as Ryan has hinted at in the past on his show, and I think even last week on this show, I hope that it draws out the belt collector, and maybe he jumps Moxley afterwards, and maybe that leads to a match between those two for that belt, because he could certainly use an IWGP title to add to.
He's already beaten Mox once. Screw it. Might as well do it again and just keep on taking everything that Mox is worth. Beat him twice, right?
2 times, yeah.
Yeah, and then the one time that Mox beat him, it was non-sanctioned, right? Unsanctioned.
Yeah,
you won't
find
right? It doesn't count.
Folks. You won't find that there at all.
No, that doesn't count. Doesn't count at all.
Kenny's 2-0 against Moxley, right?
Never happened.
That's why Britt Baker's getting the match against Shida, because that.
There you go. Yeah, we'll just get to that right now. I blinked and completely missed Britt Baker's match. So apparently the dentist won in quick fashion, and they announced her as we all finally we're gonna get it. So in the next 2 weeks or so, we're gonna dive deep into Shida and Britt Baker. So we'll put that on pause for now. SCU, they got the job done as we all expected. They got the job done in that fatal 4-way match against Jurassic Express, the Varsity Blondes, and the Acclaimed. They got the BME into a tombstone. Very nice finishing maneuver right there by SCU. The little thing that we got a swerve on, they're actually going to get their tag team championship match tomorrow night, not at Double or Nothing. So here's the championship match number 2, and I think there's a lot of championship matches coming up this week between the 2 pay-per-views and NXT and now Dynamite. So John Smith, the Bucks are defending against SCU. If SCU loses, they're splitting. So
I can't see them having 2 title changes on the same Dynamite, especially so close to a pay-per-view. I feel like something might happen where this match doesn't go off, or it's a double count out, double disqualification. There's interference, something where it has to happen again at Double or Nothing. And I don't think they're winning the belts, but I also don't think they're splitting up as a team yet. I think they're going to get the shot at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, John DeConnie, I was just hell-bent last week that if Christopher Daniels, and this is not a career-threatening match. We're just assuming that they're doing this because, just put it in, there we go. We don't know for a fact that Christopher Daniels wants to retire. We heard rumors or whatever at the beginning when he signed with AEW that he was playing the retirement, but he came out to help, Cody and the Bucks and his company get started. We're assuming that they're put this together because that's what Christopher Daniels wants to do, because he's been wrestling for about 50 years now, it seems like. So It does not mean the end of Daniels, but you kind of think that if it was, they would put it at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, which is why, thank God points are not on the line here. I'm going to go with SCU. Even if it's, they take them and then lose them 2.5 weeks later, right back at the pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view is the real send-off. So give me SCU here. I don't necessarily feel confident about it, but I think we'll see them another day, and therefore it makes sense that they would win here.
All right. Brian Joy.
Well, all I can say is I picked the Bucks on my show when we talked about it yesterday, Al, but I'm going to pick SCU tonight. That way, I'm covered either way.
There you go. No one's gonna, yeah, exactly. Your loyal viewers are like, oh my God, Ryan's a genius. But then my guys, oh, that guy's dumb. Yeah, I got the Bucks too. I actually, you know what? I said that. No, I said this yesterday. I'm saying SCU too. I'm sorry. I apologize. Like I said, if Christopher Daniels is going down, I am going down with him. So, Christopher Daniels, get the job done, guys. Let's go.
Don't you mean on him?
Does SCU split, or should Christopher Daniels revert back to his fallen angel? There's the answer too. That's.
Yeah, maybe throw a mask on that guy and he can stick around.
Yeah, he can be Curryman again. Bring back Curryman for a couple months. He's hot. He's spicy. He's great. And then they did an interview with Kenny Omega right before Blood and Guts. They announced that this match will take place. It is Pac and Orange Cassidy. Apparently, these are the two guys who will compete in a number one contenders match. And the winner will get Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing for the AEW Championship. It started off, and Kenny just, Pac, we've had wars before, this, that, and the other thing. And then here comes Orange Cassidy. And you feel like, I said it a couple times when we all got, the wool pulled over our eyes with Brian Cage and Hangman Page. We all picked Page because we thought, that's where the script is going. That's what the story is. But Cage is the better wrestler, so therefore Cage won. So now they've had the match. Pac kicked his ass about a year ago in Orange Cassidy's first match. About a year and a half ago, Pac killed him. And now the story, again, is going towards Orange Cassidy, Ryan Joy. So
I think it's a swerve. I think, they set us all up to want the Omega Orange match, and I think we're going to get the Pac Omega match, and we're not going to be disappointed in that. And then long term, we will eventually get Omega and Orange. So I'm going to go with Pac.
I'm going to go Pac too, because like I said, AEW, the better wrestler wins. I'd say about 99 times out of 100, and that one time John Smith is usually Cody, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Who do you got in this match, John?
Oh, I'm sticking with. I think they're not swerving us. I think they're giving us Orange and Omega at the pay-per-view.
All right, John DeConnie.
I'm going to go with Pac because I don't see how Orange gets the victory here unless it's one of those things where Kenny decides now that because he got in his face, the two of them went nose to nose, that he wants Orange and he somehow screws over Pac to get Orange the victory. Therefore, we can still have him versus Pac down the line, but we get Orange Cassidy at the pay-per-view. But, I'm often told that I overthink these things way too much. So as far as a straight-up pick, I'll go with Pac.
Okay, so now here's the thing. This is another thing. It's like Pac. Ryan, we had a conversation because I revamped the scoring for ProWrestlingPick'em.com. I wanted, the biggest. I want WrestleMania has the huge points. Bound for Glory gets the huge points. Takeover WrestleMania. But Ryan, what is AEW's big show? And we all agreed, or the two of us agreed, it was Double or Nothing. So now, if this is true, and this is the biggest show of the calendar year, you want Kenny Omega, you want Orange Cassidy, or do you want Pac? Like, that's another thing that maybe we have to think about real quick. Does anyone want to change their pick with that philosophy?
Yeah, I'd still like Kenny Omega and Pac. The only thing I will say to give some credit to anybody thinking Orange Cassidy is that when they have their first show back with fans this year, within a full capacity pay-per-view with fans, whatever show that is, that's going to be the biggest show this year.
Yeah.
Then they'll get back on the Double or Nothing train.
Okay. So the one thing I love about AEW, the one thing I think everybody loves about AEW, the competition, and you never know who's going to win. Wow.
Who did Travis pick wrong? Oh, who did he pick wrong?
Travis went with QT Marshall.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't have that conversation. He picked QT Marshall. Tyler picked the question marks. Tyler, I tried to explain to him that it's not CM Punk. It's in action. He's like, I'm not betting against question marks. So he lost a couple too. But yeah, so you get a perfect pay-per-view. You get a perfect pay-per-view. You get a perfect pay-per-view. There we go. So we all nailed Blood and Guts going in. Double or Nothing's going to be a lot tougher to pick, I'm going to assume. But so we are going to switch from Wednesday Night Dynamite to their former arch rivals who now own the night tonight, NXT. Like I said, we got some championship matches to pick from coming up. There we go. So we got, first a couple things that we'll bring up, John DeConnie, before we get to the tag team title change. A couple of things to set it up. So Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, Jersey Strong, Casey. They're done with T and Shot. They want the tag team championships, and then here comes Frankie Monet with that pit bull rat. You see the foam dripping out of that dog's mouth. It's truly disgusting how that dog is allowed in that arena. But they're like, oh my God, Casey and Kaden, you're so cute, or whatever, just like she's been doing with everybody. Meanwhile, Candice LeRae, she hid this drawing that Dexter did of Indy Hartwell, hid that, and I guess Dexter was peeking in the women's locker room too. You pervert, hello, that's not right. So Candice closed the blinds on him. So they're trying to keep, Indy focused on the tag team championship. So that's where they were at. Now, going back to Frankie Monet, I guess before the champ, Shopper Moonheart, were going to hop in the tank to, roll down the aisle, the dog dumped out in the seat. And I don't know. Apparently, if you guys want, I didn't see it. I didn't whatever. But if you guys want to see a picture of this, I am sure Shotzi Blackheart will be selling pictures of it on the internet for $5. For anybody that wants to see the dump that this dog took in the tank. Shotzi's good like that. But then John DeConnie, the match started.
Oh dear God! Yeah, this match was
that joke.
Emoji.
I did not think you were going to go back to the archival footage. Bravo, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, this match was insane. These women put on a match that, I popped for this match more time, almost as many times probably as that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match. I mean, some of the spots here, they were setting up a chair pyramid outside the ring, and they had Indy propped up on it. I don't even want to know what was going to happen there, but luckily Candice saved her with the fire extinguisher there. Shotzi did a senton onto Candice, who was laid out on a ladder from the top turnbuckle through the ladder to the floor. Then Ember back in the ring, grabs in, gives her an Alabama slam into the table in the corner. The table breaks like 6 inches up from the bottom. So her back and the back of Indy's head took that full impact into it. Then later, Indy would hold Shotzi on a ladder that she had one half of it. It was bridged to the middle rope. Candice hit a moonsault. Indy hit a double A style spine buster, a vicious spine buster on Ember onto the what looked like the last couple of inches of the ladder. Ember had to be in. Oh my God, I can't imagine. She probably spent 2 hours in the shower trying to loosen up her back after that. It just was nuts. And in the end here, Indy would hit her pretty savage elbow to Ember, threw a table to the floor outside, clearing her out of the way, which allowed Candice to hit Shotzi with a pair of brass knucks, and then the Wicked Stepsister onto a chair, and we got new tag team champs. And finally, Mrs. Gargano and Indie Wrestling, they've got some gold. And Johnny missed it because he hightailed it out of there about 15 minutes before the match. What the hell?
Yeah, he had to bounce. He said he had to go prepare for the celebration party. We'll get to the real reason why he left in a little bit. He did a boo-boo, and he decided to run. Yeah, absolutely great match. They are now the third tag team champions in history in this title's very short lineage. It's only been around for 2 months as 3 champions, so lots of fun. And as Candice and Indy deserve it. Now the way there's one part missing, and we will get into him in a little bit. Ryan, the show opened with a Falls Count Anywhere in this blood feud between Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott that just seems to just keep going and going and going, and nobody is complaining because it has all been awesome. This was the next step in the process, and now we have more participants.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot like Blood and Guts, where people thought this is the end point, right? Where the last man's Falls Count Anywhere. I mean, it's a big gimmick match. It's going to be the end. No, it's not. It doesn't appear that it is over, and Leon Ruff wants more. But the match kind of, John just broke down that tag match. This match opened the show. I really was really high on this card from NXT last week. I was beginning to think, oh man, this is like a takeover worthy card almost.
Yeah.
By the time you got through watching some of these matches, very, very good. And this match, it concludes with Leon Ruff just looking around for something to jump off. And so he climbs up. He's up there. He's ready to jump down onto Swerve. And then out comes the guy from WWE Most Wanted Treasures. This guy's been looking for Sacco and Kane's mask and stuff, and he just walks out there. He's not doing anything, and Leon takes a jump on him. And so Kane's mask guy grabs him and does the Ushigoroshi on the barrier, and Isaiah Swerve Scott takes advantage, throws him in, JML driver, pinfall victory in the middle of the ring. Falls count.
Yeah.
Falls Count Anywhere, but we'll finish it in the ring. Make sure we get him in the ring.
I was actually going to, as the Elias Spurs Bureau of Sports Entertainment, when was the last time a Falls Count Anywhere match ended in the ring?
I don't know, but I think it does happen more than we think.
I can't recall any, so that's funny.
That's AJ Francis is the name of the guy that Leon Ruff jumped onto, and now apparently he is part of Swerve's entourage. Yes.
So to be considered, so Swerve's got a click. Good for him.
Yep.
But you go from a guy who just formed a click for a guy who's been out on his own. John Smith, Cameron Grimes. He had a match. He defeated In Action. He's taking money, to the moon. But this time, he wanted to celebrate. He wanted to go to the VIP room.
Yeah, he had a nice little squash of a guy named Asher Hale, a.k.a. In Action. And then afterwards, he wanted to celebrate. He already anticipated his victory by renting out a booth at one of the major clubs in the area. And when he got there, his name wasn't on the list. But then a limo pulls up with a big dollar sign on it. And out comes his arch nemesis, damn you, Ted DiBiase! He bought the whole freaking club out for the night. So Cameron Grimes' money was no good there.
Lesson learned. Hey, kid, here's a lesson for you. Why rent a booth when you can buy the whole club? Oh, it's so good. I wonder what the lesson's going to be tonight for young Cameron Grimes. In tag team action, not so young veterans defeated grizzled young veterans. After Ciampa distracted the ref and Thatcher hit Gibson with Barrett's shoe, which somehow fell off during the match from the announce table. Barrett lost the shoe somehow. Thatcher got it. He hit Gibson's shoes off, and he hit him with a shoe that was off. And it was very poetic right there. Timothy Thatcher doing his research that he said that he was doing, the tape watching on grizzled young veterans. They both, this feud started because both of them won a tag team title match against MSK. MSK is in action tonight. They will be going against Breezango. Ryan, I believe you said this was non-title.
Non-title.
So it's going to be Breezango, I guess, first. Maybe if they win, they get a shot. I don't know if I want to call this a tag team eliminator. But who do you got in this one? MSK
all the way, and then they're going to have a little setup for the Ciampa Thatcher match afterwards.
Yeah, and they announced this afternoon on June 13th, Sunday night, John Smith, that In Your House 2, TakeOver In Your House 2 will be taking place. So think they can stretch this Ciampa and Thatcher against MSK until then?
Yeah, probably. So I don't know why, but I'm picking Fandango on this one, or Breezango on this one, because it is non-title, and I know it's NXT. I know it's usually Vince is the one that makes the champions lose in the non-title matches, but I got Breezango on this one.
Okay, so Breezango wins, and then Grizzly Young Veterans never seem to go away, and Ciampa Thatcher, they just got the win. Then we were looking at a fatal 4-way at In Your House, John DeConnie. We had a month for that, though.
Yeah, sure. Sign me up for that. I'm going to pick MSK here, but I would not be upset in the least if it goes the way Smith says and, winds up, like you said, in a fatal 4-way. Give me more.
Right. Yeah, I think MSK is going to get their ass kicked tonight by Grizzly Young Veterans. That's kind of how I'm going to call. And like I said, Legato's in this mix too, so they want MSK just as well. Sure. They got the pins against MSK, right, in that 6-man tag, so they're probably in this conversation as well. Walter via video had a pep talk with Imperium. He was speaking in his country's native language, which apparently Ryan Joy we talked about. Austria has many languages. We believe he was speaking German. The only word I caught out of it was incompetence. Yeah, so that's whatever he said, though. Alexander Wolf was not happy with it, got up, walked away. Then this match was signed. Ryan Joy, it was supposed to be Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. Finally, as Sanity explodes, it's not taking place. I guess we just found out before we went on air.
Yeah, NXT's YouTube or WWE's YouTube channel or whatever. Alexander Wolf went in to see the doc, and the doc said he's not cleared. He walks out. He gives the news to his boys from Imperium, and the Eichner and Bartel, they inquire with medical, and it turns out that Wolf has a stomach bug, and so he'll be out for at least 7 days. So they're a little questioning it a little bit, though.
Yeah, so maybe Eichner or Bartel will step up. So let's just play fantasy matchmaker here, John Smith. You got one half of Imperium against Killian Dane with probably Drake Maverick at ringside.
I'm going with the half of Imperium to win that one. It's by some sort of interference by the other half of Imperium.
Okay. John Connie.
Give me Killian Dane so that the whichever half of Imperium it is, they get to go back to Alexander Wolf and bitch about, damn it, we took a loss now because you didn't step up tonight and blah, 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 and a little more internal turmoil there in Imperium.
Yep, I like that theory. There you go. I'm going to go with Killian Dane as well with that theory. Ryan Joy.
Well, I think one half of Imperium is still half as big as again bigger than Drake Maverick. So I'm going with the half of Imperium.
So you're saying he has 166 and a 3% chance of winning this match?
Hang on. Yes.
The Warrior of the Hydro, Saray, she had a match. She beat Zayda Ramir, who I think officially after last week, I believe she lost her in-action name tag. She's got music. She got the graphic. We all know her name now after her victory over Toni Storm. Saray got an overhead side suplex for the win. Post-match, they were backstage. Toni Storm, you can see walking. She was on a mission, and she was cut off by Zoe Stark on her way to probably just beat the crap out of Zayda Ramir. What happened last week? So she got intercepted, and then Toni Storm shot a promo. The reason, I'm not going to say about the promo. It was a very late 80s, early 90s look to it because she had like the name graphic behind her. Like Hulk Hogan had the big Hulkamania, behind him, or the Warrior mask, or Toni Storm had her name like huge. Like it was very, very golden era, I guess, feel to it. So she just basically said that she brought Zoe Stark into this business, and now she's going to take her out. I believe Bill Cosby said that, right, Sean?
I believe so.
L.A. Knight defeated Jake Atlas. I'm sorry, L.A. Knight defeated Jake Atlas with the BFT. And then we go right back to the way. And we're going to continue the story because now Johnny has the North American Championship. His beautiful bride has the tag team championships with Indie Wrestling. there's one piece left of the puzzle that everybody joked about, and you guys joked about during the Takeover Stand and Deliver picks. That you wanted to see Austin Theory go after Karrion Kross. So Gargano and Theory, they interrupted Regal's meeting with Scarlett. I guess Scarlett was having to sit down with the commish.
They're real, by the way.
What's that?
They're real, by the way.
Theory was admiring Scarlett's huge nails. And yes, John, they are real, and they are spectacular. And, of course, Karrion Kross found out about it. So now Kross is pissed. Kross is in the ring. And then here's the bleep show begin. Kyle O'Reilly came out. Pete Dunne came out. Finn Balor came out. Kross took care of all three of them. Because all of them wanted to touch the Kross. And then all of a sudden, here comes Johnny and Austin. Because Regal booked a match with Austin Theory against Karrion Kross. So Johnny and Austin, when we thought the in-ring promo and everything was done with Balor, O'Reilly, and Pete Dunne, here comes Gargano and Theory. And they jumped and they got it over on the champ, and they ran and hightailed it out of there, like we said earlier in the segment. So does Theory get the win? Can we get a championship match? Take over in your house. Can we stretch Karrion Kross and Austin Theory for a month, John Smith?
No. I think Karrion Kross might stretch him for a month, maybe. But this is going to be a very, you know what? It might not be quick, actually. He might take his time, but I think it's going to be hugely lopsided. And obviously, Karrion Kross takes the victory.
Okay. Ryan Joy.
It must be nice to be as dumb as Austin Theory. Going into this match and not realizing what you're doing. But he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna tap out or get pinned. Cross jacket or those Saito suplexes. I'm not sure which. But
he's also got that running. He's got that running Lex Luger forearm in the back of the head, John.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, I think this one will be on the short side. Like John said, unless he decides he just wants to torture him, so he makes it. I would put the over under at about 90 seconds if it wasn't for the fact that Karrion Kross might just decide he's going to just beat him until he dies. But I think Kross takes.
Just for complimenting a wife's nails. Shame.
By the way,
I'm sorry, Ryan Joy. What was that?
I think this puts Gargano in the title picture, though, the world title or the NXT Championship picture.
That's potential. And then we have like 6 guys going after Karrion Kross right now to throw Gargano in the mix too. Ryan Joy, news also broke right before the show started. Kyle O'Reilly, we mentioned his name. He's going to be going against Tony Lorcan. I like this matchup a lot.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great match. I think Kyle O'Reilly will win it. I don't think I'm not questioning that. Maybe these other guys will have a different opinion, but I think Kyle's going to be the winner, but I think it's going to be a hard-hitting, fun match.
All right. John Smith, who do you got?
Hey, don't forget that Oni Lorcan beat Karrion Kross and Finn Balor in a handicap match. He'll always have that.
And both of those guys have beaten Kyle O'Reilly.
Right. But Kyle O'Reilly wins, of course.
Okay, gotcha.
This is going to be a fun match.
Exactly. If A equals B and B equals C, why wouldn't A equals C, John McConnell? Because it's wrestling.
Exactly. that wrestling math. It's not necessarily the Steiner math, but the wrestling math can get pretty complicated too. But yeah, give me cool Kyle on this one.
Okay, and then we have 2 huge championship matches set for tonight. The first one, Legado del Fantasma, their in-ring promo. They want title matches. Kushida popped up on the Titantron saying Escobar crossed the line, and that was a mistake. So here we go. 2 out of 3 falls tonight, gentlemen. A match that's too big for just one fall. Kushida defending cruiserweight champion against the leader of the Legado del Fantasma. John Smith, you are the Legado del Fantasma fan club presidente. Who do you got on this one?
I'd love to see Santos win, but then I don't want to see him just holding on to that cruiserweight title again because I want him moving up like I've been saying for months. Same old song from me. But the way this will end is by having Santos get the first fall and then Kushida get the other 2. That way Santos can say he would have won if it was one-on-one, but he didn't actually win the match, and then he can roll forward into his next program. That's the way I see it going.
What do you think about this triple threat match, John Smith?
Triple threat. Well, if Seth Rollins wasn't involved, I'd be into it.
Who did I get? I'm sorry, John DeConnie. Who do you got in the 2 out of 3 falls here?
Yeah, I think Kushida retains. I think it'll go all 3 falls. It'll be back and forth. It'll be very highly contested, but I think Kushida finds his way through.
Ryan Joy.
I think we need 25 minutes for this match. I don't want to see a 12-minute 3-fall match. I want 25 minutes here. I think Kushida's going to eat a pin. Escobar's going to get disqualified, and then Escobar will tap out to the hoverboard lock to give Kushida 2 out of the 3 falls.
All right, make sure you write all that down. We will give you 100% props if you nail that correctly. I'm going to go Kushida on this one. Yeah, 2-1 sounds right. Going to be absolutely incredible. Nothing that hasn't been said before about these two. So I just got Kushida. I'm going to ride the Kushida wave for the time being. And then the NXT Women's Championship will be on the line as well. These two have been at it. They had one of those dual screen promos where they just talked a bunch of crap to each other. Last time we saw these two in person with each other, Raquel kind of beat Mercedes down in a very bad way. So she proved her dominance. So I would say she is the favorite going into this, John DeConnie. Who do you got?
I think I think Raquel's going to have a decent sized run here, so it's way too early for her to lose to Mercedes here. But I think these two will beat the living hell out of each other for a good portion of time. So I'm really looking forward to the match, but I do think Raquel retains.
All right, John, too early for Dakota to turn, correct?
Yeah, definitely too early for that. Raquel wins this one. I didn't like their promos last week, though. I think they felt way too scripted. It felt like Roman Reigns at the beginning of his title reigns, where you could just tell that that the lines were rehearsed.
All right, Ryan Joy.
I agree with John Smith. I don't really like those ones where they have like a Zoom call. I think that's silly. They're clearly on the other side of the wall from each other. But in any event, Raquel retains. We'll also ride the Raquel wave out of here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm on the Raquel wave too. I think there was one time. I think it was Sasha and somebody, maybe Carmella. Sasha, I forget it was. I don't know, she pulled off and then chased her down the other side of the ring and chased her down on the other side of the. You just see her come on the other side of the promo and just attack whoever she was going.
Yeah.
Anyway. I got Raquel Gonzalez as well. John and John, we are going to give you guys a small break here. Ryan's going to sub in for Gary today for the UK. So if you just give me a quick second, we're just going to talk some UK. We'll try to not butcher Gary's accent too badly, but I'm sure it'll be splendid. I'm sure it'll be superb.
I wish you would have given me a few seconds to go get a pump in here before, so I could do Gary proud.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said in the headlines, Kenny Williams got the job done. He crotched Amir Jordan on the exposed turnbuckle and then followed it up with, I think EC3 used to call that the 1%er, if I remember correctly. The reverse DDT falling forward, not falling backwards. He fall driving forward. So now Amir Jordan must leave the NXT UK, and he was pretty choked up about it. He didn't want to leave ringside, and there were some tears flowing.
There were a lot of tears flowing, and it's fun to think about what will happen next because Kenny Williams, I think he's getting the torch, right? He's the guy they're picked as the winner out of this group, so he's gonna go up the ranks. I think obviously Amir Jordan has to go to stateside or he's gone, right? So he's either gone or he's coming stateside, and then he'll be in good company over here with Santos Escobar and Kushida and these guys as well. Or if he's on 205 Live, I think he'll have good matches with Tony Nese and Arya Daivari and stuff. So I think he's has to look at the bright side.
Yeah, there's a definitely bright. He's got a whole division over here waiting for him, not to mention their own show. So yeah, 205 I think would be a great place for him to start now. Until he develops a real character, whatever to bring on Tuesday nights. So I'll go with that. And then we talked about it yesterday on the Daily Morning Wrestling News Show. Whether or not, the match with Dragunov and Mastiff was stopped about a minute in. I didn't see it when we talked about it yesterday. I saw it after we did it, and oh my God, he popped him. There was blood flowing. Mastiff, he couldn't continue. Like that was, and the way it was weird because it played off perfectly into what Dragunov is now.
Right. Exactly. And maybe it's because Gary always talks about it on here that they have those storylines done so well, and when you have a mistake like this happen in a match, it's so convenient because it fits right into the story and they can run with it and they're creative and everything, and so they can work with it. But I'll tell you what, Mastiff took that elbow right in the face, and I hope all he has is a broken nose. I hope it's not an orbital bone or something like that. I hope it's just a broken nose because
that was a square shot right to the beak, and you can see him like going like this the entire time, and then all of a sudden he just shook his head no to the referee. I think he hit him with I think it was like he just threw him over his back.
Right, the match was only a minute 38, and I bet you this happened in the first 20 seconds. So they tried to work through some things, but they didn't get very far.
Nope. Rampage Brown was in the back looking for Joe Coffey. Joe wasn't there, but the other members of Gallus were. And I guess Wolfie will do. So I guess at some point we're going to get Rampage Brown and Wolfgang. I don't know if that was announced for next week or not, but I wouldn't be shocked if it showed up on the card.
Yeah, they didn't announce it. I think they would have, right? I think they would have announced it if it was going to be this week. I don't think they would leak that match, kind of just have it. So I'm looking at that probably being the week after, but.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Trent 7, the beat of the giant Muppet, Saxon Huxley with the 7-star lariat. Sam Gradwell appeared on the Titantron to try to distract Trent. To no avail, Trent got the win. But yeah, like I said, that we're headed right towards Trent 7 and Sam Gradwell. So
yeah, that'll be okay. I mean, I like Trent. Trent's kind of on this upward trajectory. They're trying to do something with Gradwell though. So Trent is kind of one of those guys that usually takes an L when they're trying to push somebody else. So I'd look for Gradwell to win this feud.
James wants to chime in. He's a little upset that TakeOver Dublin was canceled. Yeah, I guess he's still, but that was about a year and a half ago. So, I'm sorry you're still down about that, pal. I'm sure they'll get a UK TakeOver at some point. Oh, I forgot to take the comment down. They'll get a TakeOver at some point. They've earned it. They did a video package for Stevie Turner. Apparently, Stevie Turner has now graduated from inaction status. She is now a full-fledged NXT UK superstar, so we're looking to see more from her. On the Supernova sessions, and this is where we have some fun here. Okay, so the Supernova sessions, Noam Dar doesn't like reruns, Ryan. I guess he didn't realize Nathan Frazier was already a guest. He was all excited for this new guest, and he realized here comes Ben Carter. Ben explained the name change. He was trying to hide wrestling from his parents, but now that he's in WWE, you can't really hide that. So Shaw Samuels, he doesn't like Nathan. He's not a real British wrestler. Jersey Strong, though. I'll give that to Nathan Frazier. So Noam Dar challenged him to a British rounds match to teach Nathan Frazier, some British style of wrestling. So we have a guy from Scotland teaching British wrestling.
To me, it feels like this is Frazier is kind of the guy that's on the up, right? Like he's going to be winning matches and stuff, so it feels like he's going to get the win here. Although Noam Dar is really due. He hasn't had a lot of wins, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Dar in this. But common sense says it should be Frazier, but I'll pick Dar.
Yeah, I think it's got Frazier written all over. I'm never going to bet Noam against Noam Dar, and I'm still on board that Noam Dar is going to be the one that beats A-Kid for the Heritage Cup. So it's only a matter of time. So if Dar gets a rounds match win here,
makes sense.
He might get the next shot once A-Kid and Tyler Bates match is up. I think that match is in 2 weeks, right? Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday. So,
but Shaw Samuels kind of sold Noam out. Noam didn't really want the match. It's kind of like a Morrison situation, where Shaw sold him out.
Yep. And then we have what will hopefully be the main event, the match that I've been waiting for. We have a number one contenders gauntlet match. 3 of the women here. We have Zaya Brookside, Isla Dawn, and Ginny. They will be joined by Danny Luna and Amelia McKenzie. And the winner gets the next crack at Kaylee Ray whenever that match happens. So I don't know, Ryan, if you actually made a pick for this on your show yesterday. Mine is pretty obvious. I know Gary has one that I know he doesn't want to win. I know he's not on the Jenny train, but I got Zaya Brookside. I think we talked about this yesterday. We kind of think Amelia McKenzie might steal the show on this one, and maybe just come up short a little bit at the end.
Yeah. And Donnie Luna, too. It's tough because they've been putting a lot behind her. She's just been thrust into the faction with Flash, Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews. So there's a little bit of something going on here. She's getting a little push. Amelia McKenzie's brand new, so I think it's a good spotlight, like you mentioned, but I don't think she gets all the way through. Zaya Brookside, she's coming off that big feud with Nina Samuels where Nina, kept everything in Zaya's house really good and clean. Zaya needs somebody else to beat so that she can have a mate again. I think this is Zaya Brookside. I'm with you.
All right, perfect. You're a smart man, Ryan. You're smart as you are handsome. There you go. All right, so that will do us with the UK. Gary, feel better. We will see you next week. Gary is not feeling well right now. He's probably got like one of those hot bags on his head with the thermometer sticking out of his mouth watching the show. So Gary, we love you. We miss you. Get better, and we'll see you next week. So we will now switch gears. We will bring John Smith and John DeConnie back on the screen.
Speak for yourself there.
Yeah. We're going to switch gears to Impact real quick. It's really just one match to talk about from Impact that is not Under Siege related. And that is Taylor Wilde. She got the win on Susan after Tenille draped Susan's throat across the middle rope. And then Taylor Wilde hit the German suplex. Tenille wanted the post-match celebratory pick, but Taylor wanted nothing to do with it. So that's not really how a tag team partner is supposed to act, John DeConnie. I don't like how Taylor's acting here towards a new tag team partner.
Absolutely not. She wants nothing to do with Tenille or Caleb, but I don't know. So they're going to be in each other's orbit for a while here, whether they actually wind up tagging and they get added to this card, or they wind up facing each other. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll find out Thursday night.
Yeah, right. So, a lot of matches coming up Thursday that have direct effects on the pay-per-view Saturday. So, it's going to be just all one big mess, Under Siege mess. Real quick, there was a comment earlier from Gary. We'll get this. There we go. We'll leave it up there. So, here are the standings going into Under Siege and to Backlash this weekend. Gary's got a 3-point lead on John Smith, who's got a 3-point lead on me, who's got about, my math is correct, 6-point lead on John DeConnie, who's got a 6-point lead on Ryan. All of us with the Perfecto at Blood and Guts. Tyler and Travis down there, Travis is the new guy. I guess he's got to do some, pay some dues before he starts getting some picks right. Here are our standings for Impact. This was all from Rebellion. Gary took the early lead in the pool with this win right here. Under Siege is an Impact Plus pay-per-view, so it's a standard scoring. It's going to be the 5 points for the Impact title, which is not being defended. So whatever match gets the main event will be worth the 5 points. 3 points for all other title matches. 1 point for the non-title match. We have a couple interpromotional matches, actually just the one, just the 6-man. We'll have the bonus point added to it. So if that 6-man tag team match between the Bullet Club, Eddie Edwards, and Finjuice, if that is the main event, it will be a 6-point match, thus upping the perfect pay-per-view up to 6 points. And the kickoff matches will not count. So Brian Myers was flipping tables in anger backstage after his loss to Matt Cardona and his qualifying match. Came across a table with Rosemary on it. Didn't like the tarot cards that Rosemary was flipping on him, and then he got run over by a charging bull. So, John DeConnie, as our senior Impact correspondent here, Brian Myers has the tough task of Black Taurus. What do you got?
Yeah, Myers just lost to Cardona. I don't want to say he's going to start a streak here, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how he's going to take down Taurus. So give me Black Taurus.
All right, Ryan Joy.
I like Brian Myers here. I think he's going to do something underhanded. He's going to get the win here.
All right, John DeConnie, John Smith, break the tie.
it would make more sense that they would be giving Myers the win, so I'm going with Taurus because Impact's going to impact.
I'd like to see Brian Myers win this. I'm gonna be on the Brian Myers train on this one. It seems a couple times lately, Brock Taurus, he's been vulnerable. I don't like it. I liked it when he was just like this, the charging bull that ran him over backstage, and then I guess with that, and I just thought of this now, charging bull against maybe like a goring rhino. I kind of want to see that match.
Sure.
Please. Can we have that for Slammiversary, just a one-on-one with Taurus and Rhino? Rachel Ellering last week, she defeated Kiera Hogan after a spinning boss woman slam. Shout out there, Ryan Jordy, the boss man. This week, we actually have Tasha Steelz against what they are calling the non-factor. John McConney. Jordan Grace. And then coming up on Saturday will be the Tag Team Championship rematch. Here he goes. What is this? Rebellion Under Siege Backlash. Fire and Flava will be getting the rematch against the new Tag Team Champions of Jordan Grace, the non-factor, and the missing piece to the puzzle, Rachel Ellering. Brian Joy, who do you got?
Tag champs retain Rachel and Jordan. I think they're going to get at least one good, successful title defense.
Okay. John Smith.
Yeah, I'll take Lazy Eye Jordan in this one.
Oh, from the picture.
From the picture, yeah, not in real life.
He's not here. John McConney.
Yeah, give me the tag champs retaining here, and I think Jordan will, after being called a non-factor, will have some fun with the Boricua from Newark tonight, or Thursday night against when she goes one-on-one with Tasha.
Yeah, they do not own the night anymore tonight, John McConney. I got Fire and Flava, not betting against Jersey. I think maybe to set it up, the non-factor will probably use the Jordan driver on Tasha Thursday. They get Fire and Flava. They're better as a unit. They're not singles wrestlers. They are tag team wrestlers, tag team specialists, the longest reigning Knockouts tag team champions in the past 6 months.
Modern era.
Yeah, modern era. W. Morrissey did a video package. He's pissed at the fans that gave up on him when he was down, and he's pissed at the industry who gave up on him when he was down. So he is just pissed, and he built himself back up by himself. So you know what? Fair points to Morrissey. We all kind of laughed him off. Oh, yeah, he couldn't take over the break, whatever. But he worked himself back. So all the credit in the world to W. Morrissey. And he has got Willie Mack, the greatest entrance music in professional wrestling today, John Smith. What do you got?
I'd love Willie to win this, but this has Big Cass written all over it. I'll be calling him that for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be W. Morrissey. You know what? It's really weird too when I type his name on the computer, on my phone or whatever, when I'm talking about it, it just comes up as Morrison, just because I wrote Morrison so many times. So it's gonna be Johnny Drip Drip. I guess maybe we should change that. John Connie.
Yeah, poor Willie Mack. I think this one's got Morrissey written all over it. Yeah, give me W. Morrissey here.
Yeah, I'm with that one as well. Ryan Joy.
Willie Mack went like 11-0 in 2020. He started the year. And since then, he's been hard pressed to win a match. This is like he is like the Impact jobber. He's like the Brooklyn Brawler now. So I got W. Morrissey.
I don't know, the one match that sticks out in my eye. He made Moose quit. So you can say all the losses you want. He was the one that made Moose quit.
Right.
There you go. Ryan Joy, you need some explaining to do with your New Japan boy here, El Phantasmo. Great match. I guess he has a loaded foot. That apparently it's not loaded. He claims that I guess he kicks trees in Vancouver, British Columbia, and that's why he's so strong. And to be clear, I'm sure that's true.
Yeah.
What the hell was with that cover?
I don't know.
Who's he to cross arms and stick his tongue out?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Undertaker. Who the hell is this guy?
The thing about El Phantasmo is he is like a tribute wrestler. So it's not uncommon for when you get towards the end of a match of his that he will go ahead and hit the Styles Clash, One Winged Angel, and something else before he goes for the cover. So it's not surprising to me that he paid tribute there to Undertaker in that fashion.
That was a tribute. He's a tribute wrestler.
That's what I said yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how I describe it.
It was.
I don't know.
This guy
There's
just
a
showed
line.
you how devastating his move was. It was like my move is so devastating. I don't even have to cover this guy. I can just cross his arms and stick my tongue out.
John DeConnie, you want to chime in on this?
This guy used the purple nurple, and the problem you had was with the cover.
Yes!
The kitty twister as an offensive move.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, yeah, there goes El Phantasmo ripping off Carrie Heffernan from King of Queens. But who the hell? There's a line. There is a line, and the Undertaker is on the other side of that line, and you just don't do it.
Well, maybe it'll be El Phantasmo versus the Undertaker at Bound for Glory this year.
Maybe exactly. That's yes. Anyway, Phantasmo won his debut. He actually got thrown into a six-way X Division scramble. Rohit Raju, AC Ramiro, who just has X Division written all over him. Ace Austin, TJP, along with El Phantasmo and Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer. Those six are going to go at it on Thursday night. The winner gets the X Division champion, Josh Alexander, in a championship match this Saturday at Under Siege. So I guess it's going to be complicated. John DeConnie, so we have, who do you got in the six-man, and then who do you got coming out on Saturday?
You know, this would be, if Josh hadn't just won the belt, I would say it would be a lot of fun to see ELP win here and possibly, be the next guy through that forbidden door to take one of the Impact belts away. But I think, just Josh just got his hands on the title, so maybe they do something wacky like Rohit wins in the scramble so Josh can retain at the Under Siege.
Okay, so you're going to take Rohit, win the scramble, and then, Josh not going to Rohit. Okay, I like where that goes. Okay, so John Smith.
Okay, so it's Rohit versus AC, and who are the other guys? I'm sorry.
Ace Austin, AC Romero, Rohit Raju, TJP, El Phantasmo, Petey Williams. Now, how awesome would a Josh Alexander versus Petey Williams match?
Yeah, I'm going Petey Williams, but then Josh Alexander wins.
Yeah, no points on the line. I want Petey Williams, Ryan Joy.
I'm going to take AC Romero, no points on the line, and Josh Alexander go in.
Might as well. What the hell is AC doing in this match? Willie's X Division.
No limits. No
I
limits.
understand. Willie Max, Samoa Joe, they were they knew how to flip it. They were good guys. AC. Anyway. Now we have the same situation with the Knockouts Championship. Deonna Purrazzo was approached both by Rosemary and Havoc, and they both won a shot. So Deonna Purrazzo, being the gracious person and fighting champion that she is, that she'll let them go to Scott D'Amore and book the match. Those two next week, and then the winner gets her on Saturday. Before she couldn't find Scott. She tried to leave the building. Scott found her right at the end. Damn it. So we got everything was booked. Scott D'Amore, he booked everything. So we have Havoc against Rosemary, and these two absolutely hate each other. John DeConnie, and then the winner will get Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship on Saturday. What do you got going on here? I know you're a Havoc girl, right?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this setup match here on Thursday. I think Havoc takes it because I don't believe she's had her shot at Deonna yet, but I think Deonna still retains on Saturday.
Ryan Joy, I believe it is spelled Havoc with a K.
Yes, it is. Why did I spell it wrong?
No.
Yeah, Havoc with a K. You're right.
Havoc with a K.
But when
Paul
you
with
said
a
this,
K, Caleb with a K. No, she's in the club.
Yes. When you said that the same thing was happening in the Knockouts division. I thought you were going to tell me that Larry D was in this match as an upgrade.
Triple XL wants all the gold, and it started with the Knockouts Championship.
So I think I agree. I think Havoc is going to win this, and I think Deonna will retain. I don't believe Havoc has had a title match since Jordan's first run, and it was on a special like this, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah, because Nevaeh came in and they were doing the tag team thing, but now Nevaeh's gone. They got nothing to do with Havoc. John Smith, the story with these two and the Sinister Minister and Stu Young, and I believe Havoc hung her from a staircase, something like these two, on a spiritual and physical level, just absolutely hate each other. So this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I wasn't around watching back then, but I'm happy to see it, coming to a head right now. I got Havoc winning this one because Deonna already beat Rosemary. Rosemary had her shot. Yeah, and then obviously I'm going with Deonna also. Jersey Strong.
Rosemary had her shot at Johnny Bravo.
Too soon, Ryan. Too soon. Yeah, I'm with an agreement there. I got Havoc with a K. She was the one that, she approached her last week and had to stare down, or 2 weeks ago, and had to stare down with Deonna. So, but yeah, no, Deonna's not losing. Nope, not to Havoc. In the remaining qualifying matches, last week on Impact to qualify for the 6-man scramble for the #1 contendership for Kenny Omega. Moose defeated James Storm after a spear. Earlier, Callis approached Moose backstage. Long story short, Moose said he was going to send a message in this match to Kenny Omega, and he decided to put James Storm's leg, in the chair, stomp on it, break his calf, or whatever happened. Message delivered, sent by Moose at Kenny Omega. Trey Miguel, he defeated Rohit Raju with the Hourglass submission. Huge upset here, but like I said last week, Rohit has bigger fish to fry. Bring on Sting. Then post-match, Jake came out to confront Rohit from the prior week. Shira interception didn't work, and then Jake got some of Rohit and then Mahibala Shira. So Jake's something in Rohit Raju. That might be something maybe last minute added to Under Siege if Rohit does not win the X Division Scramble on Thursday. So we'll see what happens there. And then Chris Sabin, you guys, nobody picked Sabin, but that was me. He got Rhino after Lamahi Straw Cradle to advance Under Siege. So this is the 6-pack challenge. They're actually going to divide them up, faces and heels, as I guess the pre-match hype. This Thursday on Impact, you're going to have Sami Callihan, Moose, Chris Bay all on one team against Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel, and Chris Sabin on the other team. And then they're just going to go right back at it Saturday night at Under Siege. They're going to. I don't know if it's going to be elimination, if it's one pinfall. I have no idea. But as I stated last week, the winner of this match at Under Siege, he will be the one that gets the crack at Steven Seagal. And then if you beat Steven Seagal, you will get your match with Kenny Omega. So with that, no selling Steven Seagal. You guys kidding me?
I'm laughing.
Okay, John Smith, you're the one that was laughing. Who do you got winning and being Kenny Omega's first challenger?
It's a tough one. I think I got the heels winning the tag team match on Thursday. I think Moose is going to look the strongest in that one, but then he's not going to win the match on Saturday. I think Trey Miguel takes it. We're going to see Trey Miguel versus Kenny Omega.
Okay. Ryan Joy.
I think the faces are actually going to take the match on Thursday. And there's only 2 people that I care to see wrestle Kenny Omega on a big show. Not Paul White, on a bigger show, I mean. And that is
on Big Show's belly.
Sami Callihan in a Big Show's belly barbed wire match.
Yes.
Or Moose. But I think Moose is a more Slammiversary style opponent, and we're kind of a distance from there. So if he's going to have one more defense in between, I'd like to see Sami Callihan.
John the Connie.
Yes, I agree with Ryan's take that Sammy called, basically confronted Don Callis in the parking lot before Omega even won the title, said he was coming for it. So I think that's how it'll play out here. I think, I don't know, it's a coin flip. Let's say that the heels win on Thursday night, but more importantly, I think Sammy comes out of the six-pack.
Yeah, here I am thinking I had an original thought too. I got Sami Callihan as well. Just exactly that altercation last week. I think I said it's not a throwaway. Who knows when Sami's going to get the shot? It might be at against all odds, but I think the big matches for like a hard to kill or rebellion. They're big pay-per-views. Slammiversary's up next in 2 months. You got three guys. It's going to be Eddie Edwards. It's going to be Moose, and then hopefully Samoa Joe brings it home. So, might as well just get Sami out of the way now. There's no reason. And Sami's going to put on a great match. They do some type of, extreme rules.
Nothing against Trey Miguel. I mean,
no, I'm just curious why you guys think they're going to go heel on heel. It has nothing to do with my pick being Trey Miguel. I don't know why you guys think it's going to be Omega versus Sami.
John?
Because Impact doesn't follow any rules.
Yeah, Impact's
I don't think it's going to take somebody nasty and gritty and willing to break the rules to have a chance of taking the belt from Kenya. I think the baby faces are a little too straight line, too, not really believable as an opponent. My thought.
Speaking of Kenny Omega and all this, little known fact. Did you know that Kenny Omega used to coach high school girls basketball?
I think he mentioned that.
He mentioned that. So we have this coming up. We're going to have David Finlay going against Karl Anderson. That is on the heels of Doc Gallows defeating Juice Robinson last week with a sit-down choke slam. Then again, a post-match beatdown by the Bullet Club. So you got to assume Kenny Omega's in this match. You got to assume this is the main event. You got the Impact World Champion who works for AEW with 2 Impact wrestlers, and then you have an Impact wrestler with the Impact Tag Champions who work for New Japan. So we have all these champions in that match, and none of them actually work for Impact. So John DeConnie, excuse me, as our senior Impact correspondent here, who do you got in this one?
I think Karl Anderson tonight, or Thursday night, excuse me. Again, I did that. Takes on Finlay, and if he's got Coach Kenny in his corner, he'll bring it home again. All leading up to then Team Impact, sort of Impact. The faces taking it at Under Siege. I could see Finn Juice and Eddie Edwards getting a pin on one of the Good Brothers.
Yeah, it looks like Kenny Omega, if he wants Suicide, he's going to put Suicide in the conversation with Moose and Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. So, awesome.
Suicide with a K?
Suicide. Yeah, Suicide with a K. John Smith.
I'm just impressed by those couple of drawings of Finn Juice. Those are very lifelike. And
yeah, right? Those are good. I Draw Wrestlers is getting really good. Good job.
Give me, I don't know. I want to say whenever there's a chance for Kenny to lose and no titles on the line, he should, because I think he's going to be winning for so long in the singles. But I'm gonna take the Bullet Club in this one. I feel like they're going to take the victory here.
Ryan Joy, the Bullet Club you have on this picture, they're 5-1. The loss was to, I'm assuming, Moxley and company.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, and that record's probably not right.
Nice.
So there you go. They have wrestled before though, but I don't know that they've won 5 times.
Yeah, but it's not. This match isn't for the 6-man championship, so you're good.
Okay. Well, this is the only place we're going to use that graphic. So, in terms of the Karl Anderson and David Finlay match on Thursday, I think Karl Anderson's going to win here, and I think this is a tough match to pick because I think that this could be a setup match to give Eddie Edwards a shot so that you have multiple challengers set up for Omega. but I don't think Omega's eating a pin no matter what. So I'm gonna give it to Finn Juice and Eddie Edwards today, and somehow that works into a match with Kenny and Eddie somewhere down the line. And I might change my mind by Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kenny. I'm gonna go with Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice as well. Eddie's got to have his match with Kenny. I've been saying it, or whoever's been saying, once he's going, okay, he's gonna get the belt. Who's gonna get it back? Eddie was going to be the first in line for that. So Eddie needs some steam built up here, so Kenny Omega can drop him with a one-winged angel at a pretty decent show. Hopefully, maybe like a Slammiversary. Give Eddie his chance. So that will do it for Impact and Under Siege. Switching gears to last Friday night, we are going to lay the SmackDown. It was a throwback edition of SmackDown. Fox was actually doing a throwback week. We actually watched, my beautiful bride and I, her Mother's Day request was to watch the NASCARing race. When it was throwback day with them, and all the old designs on the cars and stuff. So it was something that Fox did. It wasn't something that WWE thought of, and apparently didn't think through all too well, because a lot of the graphics and stuff they had were very old. SmackDown's not that old. It was 1999, I believe it came in. And they showed a highlight, one of my favorite moments in wrestling history. The first highlight of the night was from the very first SmackDown, when our brand new first-time WWF champion, Triple H, got his first ever title defense against The Rock, thanks to a kick in the face by his best friend, Shawn Michaels. So that was a lot of fun for Hunter's first ever title defense. 3 days after he won it, too. He won it on Raw the week before. And Rock was on commentary complaining who was booking this crap. It was a lot of fun. Then, John the Colony, we had a 10-person tag team match, a 10-man tag. Here goes SmackDown ripping off AEW. I was... as Ryan and I talked about yesterday on the Daily Wrestling News Show, you could put every outcome on a list. This guy pinned this guy, or this guy pinned. The outcome of this match probably would have been the last one on my list.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty fair assessment. So you had Corbin, you had Sami Zayn, you had Apollo Crews, and Team Alpha on one side. You had the Street Profits, Nakamura, Owens, and Big E on the other side. And, we got almost 11 minutes of these guys, beating each other up inside and outside the ring. And it broke down to the point where the majority of the 10 men were on the floor brawling outside the ring. Corbin makes a blind tag. Nakamura hits a Kinshasa on Sammy, but Corbin's the legal man, so he sneaks in and grabs Nakamura, delivers the end of days for the win, and the heels take the day.
Yeah, and of all the stars, I would say not that Corbin and whatever, and Nakamura are stars, but like all the feuds that are going on right now between the Street Profits and the Alpha Academy, and then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and Big E and Kevin Owens, and Big E and Apollo Crews. Baron Corbin pins Shinsuke Nakamura. That was a very – there goes SmackDown ripping off Impact. Like, that was freaking random.
At least we can end in a roll-up.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Another match that didn't end up in a roll-up, Brian Joy. It was a very good chain wrestling ending to Carmella and Ruby Riott. I applauded this match.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 18 seconds this went. Carmella won with, I don't know what her move's called, but it's like a leg lock choke. Anybody got the name of the move?
The Code of Silence.
There you go. I thought the Carmella character where she's doing the puppet tricks in the back before the curtain falls thing, I thought that was over when she teamed up with Billie Kay. I guess it's back now. So anyway, Carmella got the win over Ruby Riott, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, the Code of Silence. So
okay. And then the big match, this is my third ripping off joke in the same segment. Here we go, the Women's Tag Team Championship ripping off the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, so a match that apparently is just not good enough for the pay-per-view on Sunday. The Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line. This is a WrestleMania Backlash-ish special edition, right? That was the WrestleMania special edition, was the Friday before. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they're going to be defending against.
Uh-oh.
and too much into what happened on Raw, but something is happening with Shayna. You know, we'll just get right into it right now. Before there was a 6-woman tag team match last night on Raw, Alexa Bliss came out, set up her playground at the top of the stage, said she's out there because Lily's looking at someone. She wants someone. And it appears that person is Shayna Baszler because Shayna Baszler's leg just happened to give out on her, like not even being touched. And then she fell out before Asuka hit her with the Shining Wizard for the win. So Shayna has this higher power gunning for her, John Smith. I think the tag titles are in trouble.
You know, if this was on the pay-per-view, I would think so. But is she going to be making her way to SmackDown to be? Or, I
know they do a lot of traffic. Are they in the same city this week?
No, I understand that, but it's show crossover. They don't normally do.
Yeah, I know they haven't done their 1/5 quarterly jump over wild card, and she might pop up on the Titantron. Honestly, that's all.
Alexa Bliss is supernatural. She can do what she wants.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I know. It's this isn't for points. I'm going with the champs though, even though I've always bet against them recently, and they've just been proving me wrong. So I'm not going to bet against them anymore. I'm going with the champs.
All right, John DeConnie.
I'll take the same stance I took here for the women's tag title match on NXT. I've bet against Nia and Shayna so many times and been wrong. What the hell? What's one more time? Give me Nia and Tamina.
I'm calling new champs, Ryan. I don't know about you. What do you got?
So if I want to address your Alexa Bliss thing, because often when the Fiend and Alexa Bliss throw up the dark mark or whatever and go after the people, usually it's not a recruitment mission, but I think there'd be nothing better than recruiting Shayna Baszler into this like nasty fiendish type of world. I think that'd be disgusting. It'd be great. She already bites people, so let's go with that.
I forgot about that.
As for the actual match on Friday, I think this is an actual WrestleMania match that couldn't be put on WrestleMania Backlash. But I'll go with I think we're gonna get new champs. I do. I think that the act is maybe getting a little stale, and they're already setting something up for Shayna. So let's go. New champs.
Yeah, she's already got a next step going forward. So, and then Nia can go on with Reggie. Reggie actually had a match with Tamina last Friday on SmackDown. Tamina won by disqualification after Nia and Shayna just jumped in the match, sort of beating the crap out of them. So we will officially put the bow on SmackDown and jump it right to Raw. Ryan, I'm sorry, what's up?
If Larry D can wrestle for the Knockouts Championship, then Reggie can wrestle for the women's tag title.
I guarantee you Reggie and Bianca Belair are going to have a women's SmackDown women's tag team championship match. Excuse me. It's going to happen at some point. John DeConnie, I kind of stole your thunder. Do you have your notes on you with the 8-man tag with Randy? Actually, no, forget about it. Never mind. Randy Orton won an 8-man tag with an RKO on Elias. And then he RKO'd the New Day because Randy is going to Randy. Now, John Smith, how are Randy and Riddle ever going to have friends if Randy keeps doing this?
It gets better every week, this arcade bro thing. He's dancing to the music now. He's singing the music. I can't get enough of it. And just keep it how it is. It's Randy Orton, get off my lawn. Randy Orton's like the old man now. I love it.
And then Randy, you wag his finger. Randy's gonna be Randy. He's that guy.
Yeah, they should have freeze framed him like this.
Yeah. Ryan, we actually had another random referee stoppage, not just in the UK, but we got one last night on Raw as well.
Yeah, Sheamus invited Humberto Carrillo to come to the ring and have his beating. And they went about 9 minutes. And in fact, Humberto Carrillo did get beat up a little bit, but it was in fact Humberto doing an offensive maneuver on Sheamus that led to a referee stop. When Sheamus, he did a sunset flip to the floor and Sheamus landed on his leg. And, it looked kind of bad, but it was confirmed pretty bad when the referee got down, checked things out, talked to Humberto, threw up the X. And that was the end of the match. So hopefully this is to be continued. I kind of like the fact that they're bringing in the Humberto Carrillos and the Drew Gulak and the Angel Garzas, and they're actually doing something with them. So I'm hoping we get back to this.
Yeah, I think I saw something online today, and I know the internet, this is how rumors get started, but I'm hearing that he's okay. He's not going to miss any time. I guess maybe it was just a stinger when it happened, but I'm hearing that he's fine and he'll be back to get it, bro kick next week. So cool.
Yeah, I got double confirmation on that.
Yep. Shelton Benjamin. All right, so the Hurt Business finally exploded last night. Shelton Benjamin, yo, Shelton got his old music back. I mean, it's not Ain't No Stopping Me now, but this new music, John and I popped for last night. We're big fans of the new Shelton Benjamin music when he was with Alpha Academy, with Chad Gable, the Alpha whatever. But yeah, Shelton got his music, and he got the win. He beat Cedric Alexander with the Tebow Slam finisher that he used. I probably haven't seen that in 15 years. He hasn't gotten a win with that, but he got the T-Bone Suplex Slam for the win against Cedric Alexander. Did that come through? Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought some barrels were about to fall on you.
Yeah, there's been stories that this my occupation and my place of work has ghosts. So I think that was one of them right there. But yeah, so Shelton got the win on Cedric, and then staying with Angel Garza. Angel Garza now promised to shove a rose down Drew Gulak's throat. So we already delivered on one promise. Let's see if he does another one. But John Smith, I have a question for you. We didn't really discuss this last week, but if a wrestler returns on the main event and no one's watching that show, does it really happen?
No, it's like if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, it does not make a sound.
Okay, but then we got him back last night. We got our former WWE champion back, and he has some friends. By my name, by my count, his new friends are named Veer. I guess just like Captain Marvel. Carol, I guess maybe they only found the back half of his name tag, so it's just Veer. And then the other one's name is Shanky, which of course is short for Shankerchief.
Right? We're going to have to start making up names for them every week like we did with Retribution now that there's no more Retribution. But yeah, Veer and Shanky, one half of Indus Share plus some guy that we saw on the Superstar special a few months ago. Both Indian guys, both huge. One guy, the shorter guy isn't tall, but he's a big, imposing man. But, Jinder and Jeff, they went about, probably like 7-8 minutes. There was a commercial break in there. It was your typical Monday Night Raw match, other than the fact that there was a returning man involved. And Jinder hit the Colossus for the victory, clean win. I figured they would have the new guys get involved, but they didn't do a thing. They didn't even attack after the match, which Jeff Hardy's always good to get beat up after a match. So, I was surprised about that. Maybe I guess, that would lead into a feud with Jeff, though, and maybe that's not what they're doing with Jinder. Maybe that's not the plan. I don't know what the plan is going to be, but I'm just happy to see him back. His WWE title reign was so underrated, in my opinion. I'm happy he's back.
Good. I don't know if anyone's checked on the Singh brothers, if they're upset by this whole thing that Jinder's got new friends, but we are going to go forward. Everything else that happened on Raw and SmackDown is leaking into WrestleMania Backlash. Here are the standings going in. These are last year's standings. Ryan Joy is our reigning WWE champion. He had 56 wins last year with one perfect pay-per-view. And we all fell. We were all way behind him on that. He had a 41-point win. Look at that. Scoring for Backlash, as your standard 5-3-1, perfect pay-per-view. That is not a 50-point bonus. I forgot to take out that 0. My fault. It is only a 5-point bonus. And we're going to get into our first match right now for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley took us down memory lane with mentioning some of the greatest women's champions of all time. Then Bianca came out, and so Bayley whooped up on her, and here we are. So, John Smith, who do you like in this one? Is this Bianca's first title defense? I believe it is.
Yeah, I believe it is, and even if it wasn't, I got Bianca winning it. She's going to be champ for a little while, I think.
All right, John DeConnie.
Yeah, I agree. This is I've used this phrase before, but I think this is a resume builder. She's beaten Sasha, now she gets to beat Bailey, and this is meant to trick us into thinking she was ready to become champion. So,
Ryan Joy. Speaking of those two, officially gone 1 year without Beck. So.
wow.
I don't think anything's holding Becky Lynch back on Raw. I think she can kind of go wherever she wants right now. It's going to be interesting to see if she goes to SmackDown to get that title back. She's had that before. Ryan Joy, this is not the first time. Obviously, Bianca pretty much owned Bailey going into the Royal Rumble, going into WrestleMania. So you think Bailey has got a chance to redeem herself here?
No, I don't think so. I think, like these guys have mentioned, I think Bianca Belair is going to take it here. I don't know. Down the road, maybe the Money in the Bank winner is the one who takes it off Bianca.
Okay. I got Bianca as well. Absolutely zero reason to bet against her right now. On SmackDown last week, Dominic Mysterio with a win over Dolph Ziggler with the Raw roll-up. That leads us to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Ziggler and Rude, they won a Fatal 4-Way on the WrestleMania special the Friday before WrestleMania. Mysterios were in that match. This is going to be possibly historic, Ryan Joy. Father-son combination as tag team champions. Never been done before. The Griffeys hit back-to-back home runs, but never in the WWE.
No home runs ever hit in the WWE, I don't think. On record.
I don't know. I don't think the Street Profits and the War Raiders got to that part of their gaming.
Right. I'm going for yeah. I'm gonna pick the father-son duo. I think they're gonna get it done. The only thing that's conflicted about that is the fact they should have done it at WrestleMania.
All right, John Smith.
I do believe Mr. Perfect hit a home run.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's got the only home run in history.
I don't know. Did he go and catch it? Then wouldn't that have been a pop out?
No, because it was a home run.
That was the football. No, the football he passed and then he caught it.
I know.
Yeah, he also shot a hockey puck and made the save.
Yep.
Yep.
That's not true.
Everything.
Unless they're going to save it for SummerSlam, so it's on like a bigger stage, it doesn't make sense for them to not win. The Mysterios have been built up for this for a while now, and they've even been talking about how there's never been a father-son champion. So I got the Mysterios winning this one.
All right, John McConney.
Yeah, I think this is your feel-good moment of the evening. I think Vince just can't help himself. No offense to Dom, but he's certainly not necessarily ready for this. But it's just too good to not happen.
All right, I'm taking the Dirty Dogs. I'll be on the island on this one. I don't like betting against them. They're the veterans right now. They can do something as a team to strategize and kind of corner and focus on Dominic and his inexperience and get the win here. So I will go with the Dirty Dogs. Damian Priest defeated John Morrison, which allowed Damian Priest to select the stipulation for his match at WrestleMania Backlash against The Miz. Damian Priest has selected a lumberjack match to keep the outside interference away, so this would just be a one-on-one contest. John the Connie, you gonna give Damian Priest a shot here?
I do not miss Bad Bunny, but I think Damian Priest takes this one. I think he.
You're giving Priest a chance here. Wow. Okay, Ryan Joy.
Damian Priest. No chance.
Wow, really? You're going to put me on the island, aren't you, John Smith?
Of course. And which one of you trolls wrote "I miss Bad Bunny" on that?
Those graphics and statistics are presented by Belltime.com. All right, I'm not betting against The Miz, so he's going to find a way to get it done. Sonya Deville booked an idea that was given to her that she really liked. After the 6-woman tag match that we talked about earlier with Shayna Baszler, her leg came out from under her for no reason whatsoever. Lily made her do it. So she booked Rhea Ripley versus Asuka Rhea really didn't want it. This is a Charlotte ploy. We didn't want to. I don't want us to tear each other apart. That's going to give Charlotte the advantage. Charlotte, I don't even think was tagged into that match at the beginning of the show. To be honest with you, I don't remember her in that match at all. I think she got a kick on Asuka post match, but other than that, Asuka, she's still pissed from Mania. She was ready for Rhea, but not really because Rhea got the riptide for the win. So that takes us to the triple threat match between our defending champion Rhea Ripley and their two challengers Charlotte Flair and Asuka. John Smith, you're an Asuka aficionado. Who do you got?
Yeah, I love Asuka, but she's not going to win this. I got the champ retaining on this one too.
Okay, John Connie.
I'm really conflicted with this one because the way Sonya is basically giving Charlotte everything she wants, I almost have a sneaking suspicion she's going to take this. So, yeah, the hell with it. I'll take a shot here. Give me Charlotte.
Ryan Joy.
And with John DeConnie, I think Charlotte is a heat-seeking missile, and she's going to take this belt and tick everybody off.
All right, James Wheeler chiming in. James has got Rhea Ripley. Charlotte's gotten way too many opportunities. James, I'm sorry, you are incorrect. Charlotte is the opportunity. You're not looking. This is so. With that, John DeConnie, I'm going to go with you. Sonya is going to make it happen physically. I believe Sonya will get involved in this match physically. I believe Sonya will make it as no disqualification. She can just hop right in and start helping Charlotte beat the crap out of both Rhea and Asuka. So I am going to go with Charlotte Flair with help of Jersey Strong, just so she can get fired from this position and we can get Sonya back in the ring.
Yes, please.
John Smith can make up some ground here. Got a couple of picks that are outside of the rest of us.
Yeah.
Trey Miguel and Rhea Ripley.
Okay, so we have a huge story that started on SmackDown. They did a 10-bell salute for the career of Daniel Bryan, that being Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso. And then here comes Jimmy. And long story short, the whole thing, and then Cesaro fought Rollins, and Rollins super kicked Jey, or pushed Jey, which made Jimmy want to super kick Rollins. Roman Reigns has a mess to clean up right now, and because Cesaro defeated Seth Rollins in that match due to a super kick by Jimmy Uso, now Roman has to clean up Jimmy's mess. Now, this is Jimmy's fault, and that was the whole the theme for the rest of the episode is that Jimmy needs to fall in line. So who knows what's going to happen? We've been talking a lot backstage, whether it be via text message or in person or whatever. There's a lot that they can do with Jimmy Uso now that he's back. But I guess it's not about him, I guess, as we're talking right now, because it's about the Universal Championship, and it's about Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. And more importantly, it's about Cesaro finally getting the championship match that we've all been pushing for him to get. And honestly, he's got a 0% chance of winning. Zero. Absolute 0% chance of winning. Somebody say something different, Jonathan.
I wish I could. I really wish I could, but I don't see it. I think the head of the table remains strong.
Brian Joy.
Well, Cesaro is 7-1. The 1 belongs to Daniel Bryan. So now, does that really kind of make him undefeated on the year?
Because he doesn't work anymore.
But given stats aside, Roman Reigns is also undefeated. I'm going to pick Roman Reigns because he's going to dominate him. Short match.
All right. John Smith.
Roman Reigns wins. It's just I hope Cesaro can show that he can go with a main event kind of big guy, not just Seth Rollins, that's whatever. Like he needs to show that he could go with a Roman Reigns, so then they can move him over to Raw and then have him beat Bobby Lashley maybe eventually or something.
I got Cesaro coming so close to the point where we think it's going to happen. Here comes Jey Uso. The referee's like, no, you can't go in here. And then Jimmy sneaks back in, super kick onto Cesaro, and Jimmy will fall in line right away. So that's what I'm going with that. And then the last match of the night that we have right now, we only have 6 matches booked. Who knows if they're going to book any more. MVP had a business proposal for Braun Strowman that Braun really didn't want to listen to in the beginning. But then MVP said the words I think Braun has always wanted to hear. Now, Braun, you're a smart man. Okay, I'll listen. So that was a whole feud everyone. And MVP's just buttered up. Braun, you're a smart man. So this is what we'll do. So he proposed a business proposal to take out Drew McIntyre. So that would be a one-on-one contest at WrestleMania Backlash. Braun kind of, I guess he did it. He outsmarted them because he ended up jumping in the match between Lashley and McIntyre. I guess McIntyre technically wins by disqualification, but Braun threw out 5 power slams between the two of them, and he walked out the monster. And I believe the exact quote that he had, he's his own man, he stands alone. Maybe I paraphrased that. But here is your WWE Championship match, Ryan Joy.
I think I have Lashley retaining here. And I don't think they have anybody ready to challenge him next. So we're probably going to end up seeing this repeated again.
Okay, John Connie.
I'm itching to take Drew McIntyre here because I know he has said he can't wait to work with his buddy, the recently returning Jinder Mahal. Am I going to do it? Yeah, what the hell? Give me Drew McIntyre taking the title here.
All right. John Smith, we were having a small argument last night over Bobby Lashley and his title reign and whatever. I kind of feel like he got the WrestleMania hurdle out of the way. So I think like he can possibly lose this match and still can say that he had a successful championship run because he did something that very, very few champions, let alone heel champions, have ever done. And that's, defend the title at WrestleMania. John, you want it to keep going, though. So explain your side.
Well, I mean, I would agree if this was 2008 or something, but it took him so long to get to the title. I think he needs to have it for a long time before he loses it. So I got Bobby Lashley winning this one, and maybe he might even stack him up like Roman.
Oh, very nice. Ryan Joy.
I'm still going with Bobby Lashley on this, same as I did the first time you asked.
I really did. I'm sorry. I thought, did you get everybody? I thought.
You need a cup of coffee, my friend.
Quickly. Yeah, you went quick. I got my coffee. I got my coffee. Coffee, my Keurig. All right. I'm going to go Bobby Lashley as well. John Smith convinced me last night, so I think just get him to SummerSlam. That's the next hurdle. Let him get to SummerSlam and then see what happens there. So that will do it for WrestleMania Backlash. So we're just going to run down some things. We have a question for all of you after we do this. Here goes the Essential Wrestling Podcast ripping off the Daily Wrestling News Show. We're going to have a small little discussion after the promotions, so stay tuned. I will get to this quick. We're getting fewer and fewer of these, so I'm getting right through these quick. Let me get the official. There you go. I'll make producer Joe happy. The Primetime Rundown, powered by StreamYard, with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca, is now airing at 6 p.m. on Friday nights as they take you through the wild world of sports right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. I'm sure they're probably going to be doing a Stanley Cup playoff preview, so make sure you tune in on Friday night. I know I will be. For more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. As mentioned, the Daily Wrestling News Show is on Monday through Thursday, sometimes Fridays, at 10 a.m. And get your morning cup of joy with Ryan and his band of merry co-hosts, also right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. The Body Slam Brigade newsletter, now over 4,200 subscribers, received the weekly column. Make sure you go to minutestobelltime.com to subscribe. The Body Slam Brigade, by Ryan, for you, for free. Make sure you go to all of these music platforms, Deezer, YouTube Music, Pandora, Spotify, and get the Black Cats NYC, their new album, free cake. Play loud. And then the matches that we've been picking for in the standings you have seen, you can join in on the fun with us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool at ProWrestlingPick'em.com. You can also start a private pool with your friends and have nobody else bother you. And it's a lot of fun. It's a new season. Yes, it is. And please go to ProWrestlingPick'em.com to make your picks for both shows this weekend. Or if you just want WWE, you can just do that. If you just want Impact, you can do that. AEW, you can segregate it all you like. And then join us back here next week for the Essential Wrestling Podcast, episode 54, always at 6 p.m., always on all of these Eastern Observer and I-95 sports platforms. Gentlemen, so this weekend is WrestleMania Backlash. Next pay-per-view, we can assume, where is there we go. The next pay-per-view, we can only assume, is Money in the Bank, which means the qualifiers are going to be starting on Monday. So early, way too early, Money in the Bank predictions. I'm going to do Ryan Joy last just because I don't want him to repeat himself. John Smith.
Okay. My first thought was Baron Corbin, but he did win it already. I think he's more ready for it now, and I think his gimmick needs a refresh. But other than him, I would like also to see Jinder Mahal win it. You know, that could make him, you know, give him something interesting without having to put a belt on him. You know.
All right, then that might pair nicely if McIntyre ever does get the belt back, right? John DeConnie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a Big E, but someone I could see them really having someone who I'm pretty sure will be in it. I'm not 100% sure he'll win it, but why not Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Ryan Joy.
Oh, I really like that idea. I mean, but the smart money is on Angel Garza, like I said before the show started. Angel Garza is probably the guy who's going to win. But here's my thought, though, is that Drew McIntyre doesn't win this weekend, and I think he wins Money in the Bank on the men's side. On the women's side, I think maybe this is time for Becky Lynch to return.
Okay, yeah, John and John. Yeah, the women have a match too, you know.
Yeah, I tried to think about that, but it's always so random in the women's division. You never know who they're pushing next. You know, it's everybody's just like in the locker room, and then all of a sudden they're getting catapulted towards the main event. You know,
John DeConnie.
And with that in mind, my women's pick will be whether she sticks with the name or not. Reckoning. Why not?
James Wheeler is maybe Seth Rollins. He's asking for Cesaro. I believe. I'm sorry, you guys are all incorrect on the men's side. The Miz will be winning it again. He is going to be the first ever person to cash in successfully 3 times.
No.
And the winner on the women's side, you guys are just so dumb. We didn't mention her name the whole entire time. Eva Marie, of course, is going to win the women's Money in the Bank match. All read everything. I cannot wait for this. It's going to be the greatest Money in the Bank of all time. The Miz and Eva Marie winning each Money in the Bank respectively. It's going to be phenomenal. What's that?
Maybe Alexa Bliss.
Would Lily make her do that? I don't know. I think she's more about hurting people right now than championship.
Well, Lily might just appear at the top of the ladder, and she's going to have to go save her.
That's possible. All right, so that will do it for our show today. Thank you so much for watching. I know Alexa Bliss, we love you. You always come up. I know maybe we do need time to change this picture. She's getting kind of freaky. I guess maybe Lily should make us do that. Tegan, sometimes let's go. What are we doing here? Let's go. John DeConnie, take it home.
Taking us home. Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
There you go. Under Siege. Oh.